So who is this sensation Monique, the Overland Lady? Let's take a closer look in this video. I met Monique on Facebook a couple of months ago and looked at her YouTube channel. As a video creator myself, I couldn't help but admire her video quality progression, followed by the City Girl video, that described briefly how she got the overland bug and did overlanded trip through Australia. It seemed only natural to be fascinated by a female overlander in predominantly male scene. But also in general, I always admire people that abandon their old lifestyles in search of adventures and new experiences beyond their established comfort zones. And it can vary from people living out of their Priuses to $1 million overland houses and anything in between. In many ways, they are my road posts. They inspire me, and in turn I also hope to inspire others with my adventures. So with further conversations, it appeared just how similar our perceptions of the world are. Two travelers, dreamers and YouTubers. It made all sense to finally have a campfire chat. This video is a small addendum to her story. It still just scratches the surface, and of course there is always much deeper story behind the faces of YouTube personas. So let's check her rig first, then hear more of her story, a big surprise in the middle, followed by hilarious bloopers and footage that didn't make the cut, but revealing in her off-camera character, as well as mine. So who is Monique? Who is the Overland Lady?
Vehicle load is a huge thing that a lot of people are not really putting focus on. It's your row cage. So in this sense, we're not using manufacturer that you will need to look at when putting your crossbar.
Oh yeah, she can be quite the educator and very smart. She really dives into the rabbit hole of information, research and learning. That you can take away from her.
Welcome to my spotter web. Alright, I'll just run you guys through my vehicle setup from the front to the back as more of a logical order. Most of the mods are done in Australia. As some of you might know, I've previously traveled in Australia with this vehicle and then returning to Canada with my boy. So here we are, the bull bar, ARB bull bar. Originally when we just got this vehicle, it has an ARB bull bar that's color matched, some sort of bluish, excuse me, darkish blue. However, it was a really old version and it does not have a winch cradle, or it can't even mount a winch mount. So we have to change to a newer version of the, I believe it's deluxe bull bar. Put in a winch, this Dominator brand. A lot of you guys probably don't know if you're from North America. It's fairly cheap brand, but so far I haven't failed on me. Synthetic rope, factor 55. Funny thing, the price of the winch is around the same as the hook. So just to give you an idea of how economical that winch is. These set of driving wires from Hardcore, we found this brand actually from a four-wheel drive show. They had a booth there and then we talked to one of the owners. They actually own their own factory. So interesting. I just really like how the design that has this bar is daytime running. So during the day, I'll have a dash in the middle, which looks super cute. And they have different colors of cover. I put orange on as easier for nighttime, but in Vancouver City Road, usually you should put on total blackout one, which they have that too, and as well as clear ones, just to protect your lens. Now, these two antennas for this, what you're seeing, this is the Australian CB radio, GME. I don't have those really signature thick bar. Personally, I prefer this more of flexible ones. However, they use UHF, whereas in Canada we mostly use VHF. So I installed these guys. I think it's a Kenwood radio dual band. Personally, I don't really like this spot because, well, the bull bar comes with two mounting spots, and this one already took that passenger driver, just so you know, right-hand drive. And so while I'm sitting there, this is right in front of my eyes and it's starting to wiggling and then a little bit annoying. So maybe in the future I might move that to this side just so it's not blocking my view. Alright, I do want to mention this little touch here. Let me just clean it up for you. The turning signal is from ARB. It's LED, having a really nice little bar dash kind of look. However, this fogs, it's from Steady. I believe there are people starting to import them to Canada now, but Australian brand, daytime running, it has like a horseshoe kind of looking, super cute. A lot of the things we actually just did it as we were traveling on the road. The bars installed it in a parking lot on a handicap seat. Safari snorkel as well at the rental place that I was staying at, and then rolling holes onto the fender for the first time. It's a little bit scary, but yeah, worked out. The template is really on point, and then if you just follow it, measure twice, cut once, no issue at all. Saved you a lot of trouble with following convoy in really dusty situation. A lot of people will say it is for swimming in the water, but yeah, if you know about it, it's mainly for dust in our driving situation. All right, moving along. For safety, I had road safe towing point and then alt skip plate all the way down to my transmission. 2-inch lift on Omen EMU suspension. I believe it's SPC upper control arm or Black Hawk upper control arms, just to adjust the suspension geometry. I don't have any aftermarket wheels, however I am considering some because my rear wheels when it's turning, when it's aired down, somehow it rubs the inner frame a little, so maybe, and also plus my tires almost due, so might as well change them together. That's something up to come. However, my suspension system, I am looking for a newer set from Terrain Tamer, so we'll see how that goes. Supposed to come with a, well, for those of you who don't know, 100 series, we use torsion bar front, no springs. So they will have a more heavy duty torsion bar as well. We'll see how that goes because I am pretty heavy. The bar connects to the front bumper all the way to side step. This is from ARB as well. Just give you a little bit more side protection. As you can see, I've crashed into something, and then this saves your body big times. Okay, rear bar. This is from Coastal Off-Road. This is one of the few modifications that's done in Canada. I actually made a video specifically about it. The difference about this kit is actually comes from, well, it's a kit, so it comes in pieces of bare metals. So if you know how to weld, or if you want to learn how to weld practicing, this will be a really cool project. And along the way, you can do a lot of modification yourself. I didn't really have time to do that, but the cool thing, I really like this little hoop that it matches my side steps. The ARB, it matches what my ARB has to protect the fender a little. That a lot of people tend to ask me what this little crown is. It is an air line that goes into the airbags to support my rear suspension. The reason I'll need to get airbags for the rear was on my trip from Melbourne to Perth. There were many sections where you have very long stretch with no fuel, or fuel is expensive. So while in Perth, we got a Long Ranger extended fuel tank that changes, that took out where the spare tire and factory sub tank was. That tank gave me another extra, I believe is 180 liters. So in total, if I run it smoothly, keep it at 2000 RPM, I can go around 1400s. It still eats a lot of petrol, but it just makes you feel like you can run a lot. And then again, with all of these weights, liquid sitting in here, my rear suspension is starting to squat down a little. I believe for people that you were towing, you can relate. So airbags, spring helpers, really good stuff. Continuing on rear bar, it has 2 swing out options. I got one side to pair with the spare tire because again, when I have the extended fuel tank there, it took out where the spare used to mount. So for a long period of time, I threw it on the roof, but that might have some roof load issue. So now, find it a home in the back of my vehicle. This side, however, is most people would do a jerry can mount. However, I already have enough petrol and I don't think I would need a jerry can mount. So right now it's just my bow tie mount. Maybe in the future I'll change it to something and make it actually more so useful than just, holding my license plate and stickers. On the roof, this is also a newer modification done in Canada. However, in Australia, when I got the vehicle, it already has runner rack crossbar with an aluminium tray. And I've been using that the whole time until recently changed it to a more slimline, low-profile backbone system with the Pioneer tray. And then kept my Max Trax with this its own bracket in there. And then they have a new Stoic kit that essentially is sort of like a shovel holder, but is way bigger opening, which accommodate my thicker shovel. So that's great stuff. And then I got an awning hunting on the other side, and mainly that's all I've got on the roof. So it's usually always under load. The only time when I am sort of close to load is when I throw an ARB double spec on top. But that's usually but that doesn't happen all the time. So another thing to watch out about is your roof load, GBM. Since we're on the topic of runner rack, I've had this 270 awning from Australia the whole time, and then just recently got all 4 walls. I didn't put them all on this time, but they have option of just plain wall or doors that you can come out if you choose to close all of them. One thing to watch out for, I guess, any awning, or if you want to put up a top, is to really pin them down, peg it down nicely. However, this rocky road is not really easy for me to peg things down. So I gotta be a little creative and then drag all of the wood pieces and wire rope them there just to secure, and I don't have my little tent collapse on me overnight, which kind of happened a little bit because we sort of have a little bit of snow last night, and then it became a snow cabin in the morning. But yeah, just watch out not to trip over them, because happened a few times. With this whole area covered up, it just makes the whole space way more cozy feeling. So now, let me show you my sleeping arrangement. Usually when I am alone, I sleep in the car. So yeah, this side is also where I do my wash-ups. You got your towel right here, so when I climb up, boots stuff in here. ARB sleeping bag if you get a little too cold, another layer on top. And my bedtime buddies. So here's the view from back here. I will actually turn on this light. This light is good. It's from Milwaukee, a bar light. Originally it was for, I believe, for mechanics to work in their engine when it's nighttime, but you see how it twists and then just clamps onto your roof and lights up everything at night. Alright, so light it up this way for now. ARB fridge connected to my secondary battery. Yes, I have a dual battery setup connected with BC-DC charger. That charger really regulates it, so when it senses the voltage got too low, it will cut off the main battery, so in the morning you can still turn on your car. Because it's winter, I have a layer of heated mat in there. And a heated blanket, you can either, well, I have a Yeti 500X, you can either plug it in there, or I plug it in the vehicle 12 volt back here. That one is also connected to the second battery, so it won't drain your main over time. Not sponsored, but I will mention why I prefer Go Zero Yeti over a lot of people use Jackery. It's just how the handle fold down and it become a flat box, so you can stack things on top just like a normal box. ARB fridge, well, normally I just got veggies and drinks, beers, not beer, but cooler stuff, because I don't technically drink beer. So although I have a dual battery setup, I don't have a solar system yet to charge it using sunlight. I do have a folding ones, portable ones that I can take when it's sunny during daytime when I'm parked stationed. However, longer term wise, I would still want maybe something fixated on the roof so I can still charge it while not, extra stuff to fold that out. And then the drawers. Titan drawers is from 4Drive Super Center. All you Aussie guys would know. It's a really affordable set. A lot of people, they just choose to go with this set instead of making your own because the price comes down to even cheaper than if you were to make your own. However, there are some fitment issues. Say, for example, this piece, the holes are supposed to line up so you can lock them in there. So my solution is to put 2 hinges in there, and then I can still lift it up and use the space underneath. So I have a car jumper, some fluid, first aid kits in there. This drawer is usually my airline, some extra utensils things, a lot of propane bottle, those 2 extra driving lights cover, and a foldable bucket. This side is usually my cooking and food compartment, some canned food, pots and pans, and all sorts of things. Wooden utensils, so later on it's easier to burn it in the fire. And since it's so cold, all of the oil is going to freeze anyway, so might as well just use coconut oil. Yeah, this side is just some extra oils, and always keep my repair menu in the vehicle as well. And as I said earlier, I sleep on that side of the vehicle, so this side is mainly for clothing. My back seat folds down the same height as my drawer, so right now I can use it as a sleeping platform, but in the future I do want to maybe do a seat delete, because even driving in city, I keep them folded down just to transport things instead of people. And sleeping in a vehicle, these reflectors really keeps you warm real good. Easiest way to do is just cut a piece that's similar to your window, glue a piece of black fabric in the back, and then I use little suction cups for easy removal, because I know a lot of van life people, they just keep them on there or stuff it in. However, for us, we need to drive during the day and then need that visibility, so those things for easy removal. Always keep a set of chain when it's Canadian winter, you know, and then keep a shotgun just in case.
You can Rambo in here.
No, just for, as you can see it says shorter barrel on 14-inch, so really just for bed defense in Canada. Bring some slugs. Well, I just kept all of the old ones there because they smell really strong on the first day, and the second day and the third day, all the smell's gone. So I kept getting new ones, and never threw all the old ones. A little hoarding issue right here. So when I am driving and transporting, all these beddings, if I'm still camping the next day, just simply roll them up forward and then bungee strap it to secure. And now you have all these space for all of my other gears to sit on top of here. So right now there's still a little bit of crack in between the drawers and the back seat. So in here I have some axe, shovels, all those sorts of things to slip in the middle. But yeah, once I have a seat delete, I will have way more storage at where my current back seat is sitting at. So inside the cabin, here we got our lockers, ARB compressor. Front and rear lockers really help you a lot when you're having a heavy vehicle and some of even just a steeper slope. Instead of, you know, sanded, you go slow, and then there will be potentially less damage in that way. And ramp mounts for my phone, and also another ramp mount for the iPad. Sometimes I use both for mapping. One will be zoomed more in so I can see where the twist and turn is. The other one will be in general where I am on the map. That's the Kenwood radio that I recently installed for dual band VHF UHF. Hand units right here. This is the originally Australian CB radio. The head unit is mounted inside the dash, and then that's just the control on the outside. Personally, I don't really like it because putting the head unit, but the main unit inside, they didn't have a external speaker, so the voice is really tiny. On driver's side door, just some quick, easy things to grab. Hand sanitizer, as we all know how important they are nowadays. Deflator, 2 types of deflator. Bug spray, sunscreen, you know, for the summer seasons. Obviously, I just never take them out. Lighter for campfire or whatnot, and pair of gloves for a little bit heavy things. On my model of vehicle, I don't have the sunroof. Instead, I have a whole lot of glasses holder. I have a pair of just normal shades, night driving shades, and that's just prescription glass. And this big compartment, I have a external GPS because my Mini does not have a built-in GPS. So that one connects to the iPad to send the GPS information. And a lot of people change this center unit to a mini fridge where you can put a lot of things. Yeah, it is actually really impressive how big this is. Sometimes when I take things out of that, just amaze me how much things I actually stuff in there. Another pair of air down tool. Oh, Amsterdam.
I would actually comment, this space right now you got is as big almost as my Ram, and that's what I like about it. I can eat lunch on this thing.
Yes, that's a perfect station where actually, yeah, at times when I bring my girls, when other people got stuck and we're just sitting there waiting, we'll have a cocktail shrimp palette right here and then eating our shrimp and watching the dash mat. I actually just found once we got into Australia, we found out everybody have dash mat, even on the sedans and things. Apparently it's supposed to protect your dash from UV and sunlight. As we all know, the sun there is pretty harsh. So throw this thing on, and it's still got a slat for your passenger airbag in case things explodes, right? I think people do make gadgets because this is, you know, the sort of material. You can Velcro a lot of things on here. But personally, I prefer not to keep the dash occupied with things, because when accident happen, those things are just bullets running into you. So
I should actually comment one thing I noticed, where sometimes Jeeps put their high lift jacks right across the the hood, and when I see that, I'm like, man, if that thing ever in an accident
flies, you're
dead. So it's guys, whoever you do it on the hood, please don't move it somewhere else, because it's dangerous.
Yes, projectile. Good thing about being short is you can sleep in a little tinier area, but the bad thing is you're short. And you need a what is that? What are things?
Aw. It's like a baby at home reaching for a carton of milk in the fridge. You know, that's
more like snacks on the top shelf, you know,
Yeah.
fun ways.
She knows quite a bit about mechanics and does some work where she can, although she won't admit it and humbly say that she doesn't know much. I should also mention that she gets quite hands-on with the things she does for the Landcruiser, and is also a tradeswoman in the making. If you go to her Instagram, then you'll find her always posting some little projects she occupies herself with. So is she a good cook, or is it just a screen illusion in her videos?
How spicy can you eat?
You saw yesterday, I had burning lips from whatever I concocted.
Try this. Yeah, apparently it's from California, and then small batch, no additive, and more so on the savory side because it's like an Asian blend. I'll just put it a little bit on the side so you don't die. Because I've tried it, it's pretty spicy. If you scoop up just about the same, it's a little frozen, it's cold. Alright, I'm gonna go for the fire. How's the spice? Spicy?
This spice is actually pretty awesome. Like it has a slow build up. In the beginning it's like has many flavors, and then after about 10 minutes the lips start to burn.
I was like, oh, this is like tasty. Yeah, that's what I did at first. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
At least it's got some taste, and then you kept eating. It's like at one point like, oh, okay. Well, it's on fire.
But the shrimps, the salmon you did is just like, oh my god. Restaurant food right here, like five stars. Michelin quality.
No.
It's good. It's better than whatever I cooked up yesterday, that's for sure.
No, that one is way more like involved.
This is simpler and tastier, I think.
Well, I'm just lazy, I guess. Everything, so you see, I just prep everything in aluminium wrap and then put it on the grill. So whenever you come out, that's why there's still a wrap. But using the plate even saves you washing the plate too, because lazy people think of ways.
This is my way too. So it's very different for a female to get into this kind of lifestyle. Can you tell viewers how did you get into it? Like what was going on through your mind? You were in car mod community and doing events back in the day, and then all of a sudden you just completely switched your lifestyle. So what's your story?
Well, I guess first off, I do want to point out every time when people say, oh, it's a girl doing blah blah blah, I don't really tend to see things as what girls do, what boys do. It's like I see it as a huge general human race. If human and people are doing it, I don't really see it as, oh, I'm a girl, I can't do it. So I guess from a very young, depending how old you want to date back to, I've always been into things that mainly is dominated by guys and sort of boys activity. Yes, I did have a kind of tuner scene when I had a BMW Z4, fully wide body air suspension, like stand style. So we went to a lot of car shows, good times during that time. And then during some winter, I had some sort of, winter depression in Vancouver is actually quite common. And then during that time, when you have a highly modified cars in that situation, when it rains, when it snows, it's not that easy to drive. And I just sort of wanted a vehicle that I can go with, know what sort of word can I use in video, because I want to say no F given. And then really sort of naturally you just start looking into Jeeps, because it's the total opposite of, a boxy off-road vehicle, capable vehicle. So I got myself a Jeep, but still didn't really go off-road until 2 years later. Only some, local trail mud holes when you go out and play around, messing around, be stupid. And then until I fully went into a corporate job for a while, and then it wasn't really making me happy because I graduated from university in business, so that's sort of a normal transition. You work in business, you go into financial district, do some sort of office sort of things, and I was really...
But you did go to art school before?
Yes. Well, after high school, I actually went to 1-year program for visual effects, so those explosions that you see in the movies. I was really interested in those things, but again, Asian parents, they want me to, you gotta go into university, you need to have a degree. So after that, I really totally abandoned it. I don't remember anything anymore, because all those hotkeys, and really you need to use it to remember. And so that was that university years in business. I did grow interest in business and marketing per se, but after that went into the workforce and really finding myself not happy. It was a really great opportunity though. I get to meet and sit in the same table and talking to top executive from those top big corporates in Canada, but it's just I don't feel belong being in those concrete jungle and seeing everyone wearing suits walking around and sort of have to portray a kind of image that, you know, businesswoman sort of thing. And it really got me very miserable to a point that I realized, oh, this is probably not what I want. And as I was going through that downhill, I started to go out during the weekend to some of our local mountain with my Jeep, because that's when I started to realize, oh, this is what I should really utilize this vehicle for. And then in the same time, well, if you go snowboarding and if you go to Whistler, you will see it's basically all Australian people there doing their working holiday. And then I just started looking into, oh, what is working holiday? Oh, the age limit within, I believe right now is 34. And then you can apply for 1 year of travel and work to multiple countries. And then I thought, why don't I do the same when I am still, you know, no family, nothing tie me down, and still within the age to go out and explore a little bit. And so by the end of, I guess the final trigger was when Vancouver during those years had a wave of police handing out VIs, defaulting your vehicles. And I knew my modified stance car wouldn't make it, so I wasn't even driving that. However, my Jeep got VI twice for just literally no legitimate reasons. At that point, the second time when I got a VI, I'm just like, this is my sign, I gotta go. So bought a ticket, went to Australia, didn't really even plan that much, but I just know while being there, I wanted a vehicle that can sort of similarly take me to places, and reliable because, you know, it's a foreign place and it's big enough to take all of my belongings. And so went to Australia. I did work for almost half a year and then toured around whole Australia. It is actually a very similar theme. You will see a lot of people how they all of a sudden switch to these outdoor lifestyle. New Zealand, Australia, somehow they just do some sort of magic to you. And that really just opened my eyes and to see what I am actually capable of being outside, instead of when you don't have all of these city supports. And then I've been coming out ever since, and coming back, actually I wanted to sort of explore my own heritage country. I was originally from China. So while in Australia, when people ask me, where are you from? That gave me a little pause. How long ago do you want to date back to? I flew to here from Canada, but if you want to date even back more, you know. And so that just made me wanted to reconnect with my heritage. So while upon returning, I actually went to China during a really bad time when COVID hits. So when that happened, came back to Canada. When we left Australia, I decided to bring my boy with me back to Canada, and then realize, okay, what now? My whole year of plan kind of shattered, and then we will probably still want to explore a bit more, but we can't really cross borders. And I do want to do Pan America trip from top down to Argentina, but that's not going to happen anytime soon. So right now we're just exploring our own backyards. There are actually so much to see in just BC itself.
Or maybe just do it in chunks, right? Like maybe go to Tak, that area, so we could explore a little bit, and then some other later time continue on to Argentina.
Yeah, when the world opens up. So right now, really, it is a difficult time for really everyone. So we can only just find these tiny bits of joy pieces in our own life.
If you want to see more of her story, you can go check out her YouTube channel. She actually did a very awesome short film. It's called City Girl. Basically, kind of it's describing what she just talked about, but in a cinematic form, and it's done very well. It won a short film nomination in a first time held Overland Film Festival.
Overlander Film Fest by Expedition Overland.
So in that regard, yeah, they did an awesome job. I'm actually considering for next year or something to submit something. You're probably gonna do something else.
We shall see. Maybe not. Tell some bit more story about what happened ever since. But yeah, it's really overwhelming feedback that I got from that video, because a lot of people have very similar experience as what I had. You know, coming from a city background, and then when you start to get tired of all the cityness, all the people, don't really want to say anything bad about it, but sometimes you feel disconnected when you are actually surrounded.
The routine of modern life, basically. You get tired of that.
Yeah, and then a lot of people actually start to come out, especially when we see COVID happens. Four-wheel drive community just grew exponentially because of this factor. People want to get out and be actually connected to the nature.
So yeah, definitely check out that video. It's in the description or in a little pop-up to the left right here. Leading up to the weekend of the meetup, I've discovered that she has another talent. I suspected it was likely neglected for some time, with so much happening in her life, so I decided to make a surprise and had an interesting idea of connecting her melody in nature with nature. The suspicion was correct, and she didn't touch a piano in years. She agreed to it, and a little cinematic sequence was born. So take a deep breath and relax. She wouldn't admit it as usual, but for being rusty, she performed quite marvelously, while I was torturing her patience and frozen fingers with cameras for about 2 hours. Of course, such happening warranted a little celebration with some champagne. What gave you solace in the past? What made you feel happy, like you're truly part of life, in the moment, rather than flowing against the currents of past and future, with worries and burdens of adulthood, family responsibilities, self-doubts, and accumulation of stagnant thoughts that are not truly even yours? Deep inside, you're still that innocent, playful, unabstracted child, full of wonder for the world, for the unknown to be discovered. Was it a set of forgotten drums in your basement that gave you peace? Or maybe you carved wood and actually liked to garden? What was the creative force inside of you that motivated your spirits for life and adventures? Are you mismanaging your finite time and giving it away to accumulation of stuff versus having experiences of a lifetime? Do you really need such a big house that is half empty? Are those shocks and the latest gadgets on your truck really needed for overlanding? Are you bound by thoughts that with a small child you can't really travel the world? Perhaps the people around you say that your dreams of big adventures are foolishness and that you should keep working hard towards that big retirement bank account while your youthful time is slipping away? Maybe it is time to find solitude and reevaluate your presence, and there is nothing better for that than a small camping trip and to stare into the campfire of possibilities. So be free, if not fully in external world where possibilities are limited, then in your internal temple where the limits don't exist, and you step beyond your preconceived expectations that you've made about your life. Don't be afraid of judgment or what others think of you, as they have a lot to deal with themselves. We're all weirdos in our own way, so you may as well just set a different course and follow your big dreams. Be your real self, be free from your mind clutter, and the ultimate freedom will find you. join us for some laughter. This is how videos get made. We had some goofy ideas bouncing around, but weren't exactly sure into whose video they'll make it into. And some things are unintended early recording button presses. I think this quite well illustrates the life behind the YouTuber's camera. So grab a cold one and just have a laugh. So on Facebook and one of the off-road groups I posted one of the trips we did, the Russian-speaking community group. And there were some nice pictures and she saw that, and that's how she discovered me a few months ago. We just started chatting and I checked out her Instagram and kind of scrolled through that past.
Oh, greet me!
Yeah, I never do that. I absolutely never. Like I usually like scroll a little bit, right? Like, oh, okay, nice.
Yeah, I have
channel
a lot of posts. I believe thousands of posts from like way back.
But see, I was gonna meet you this weekend, so I'm like, okay, well, I need to see.
Make sure she's
some
not
more.
a psycho. Yeah.
You wanna keep this take or try again?
You can't film another one, but this one is okay. Like I think there was like one part that was like not really catching it, but like if you caught me like shaking my head, just.
I still need B-roll. I'm gonna switch lands. I'm gonna use different lands and so on. So
I can just keep playing.
So you may as well just full screen and
Yeah.
until it's going on.
Yeah. That or even like say, I don't know if your drone caught me like when I was like just like doing my thing, and then when I did something wrong, I was like shaking my head. You can just plug that in, so it like it's a real play, and then that you do make mistake, and then you know like because when I was shaking my head, I was smiling too, and it's like you know making a mistake is okay. Yeah. I think I should just bring a drill next time. Drill a hole in the ground.
It actually works. My father started using drill.
Right?
Yeah. But he bought he ordered from England specific bolts. Right, and it's just like done. Yeah, it's gonna happen eventually. Maybe by tomorrow, she'll finally do it.
When I finally drill through the rock.
Ah, shit! It was so zoomed in.
With the mallet.
Yeah, I think it will happen by tomorrow. She's kind of been pecking at it for about 10 minutes.
24 hours.
just kind of like a little birdie in the bushes somewhere, you know. Tip, 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 tip.
Oh. Yeah, nah, man.
Perseverance. You gonna talk like that? That's cool. That's cool. Let's see, if I zoom close enough to the eye, will I see your soul?
Oh, I can see your lens, like, do the eyeball thing.
Yeah, it's going like what?
I'm not lighting up.
You struggling there?
Sorta.
Like, are you actually cold? Like, where are you cold right now?
Kind of everywhere. My toes starting to feel it.
Okay, give me a sec here. Alright, here. I actually have spare boots, it's minus 40.
Wow!
And the hat from Mother Russia, this is this is the traditional one right here. Should definitely carry you up. You're not in Australia anymore,
yeah,
so
this is
lose it.
Aussie hat.
Wear the real one.
Hold on, which side? Which side out?
This is correct, yes. You just mentioned the Soviet stuff.
Oh, so I'm a Russian now.
Yeah. Good enough.
What should I say that looks really badass Russian?
You just need a fur coat with that now.
Awesome.
Have you seen those?
Awesome. I can't do the. Like how do you
what sound are you trying to make?
When you say Russia, the awesome.
Russia, Mother Russia. Like
Alright, let's see
you
if
probably
these
shouldn't
gets
hit
better.
it, it's minus freaking 40.
This is, yeah, minus 40, so we'll see which one works better. And if this one actually helps.
But the benefit is you can still go in mud and river and whatever the hell around, right?
Yeah, waterproof because it's rubber.
Because I was contemplating this type stuff too.
It is waterproof.
Well, but like...
It feels fake, let's hope I don't trip.
If you go like this, right, you probably can. Like up to here.
Yeah.
Very limited.
Yeah, that's why I always like
well, it can get a little hard to walk because it doesn't bend as much.
Yeah.
The foot. Double
It's
fence.
like, it's wiggling. Let's hope I don't trip.
It's a double hat. Slav squat. You know what Slav squat is?
Asian squat.
So,
Are you able to spot?
mid-90s, Soviet Union collapsed, or early 90s.
History
Country,
class.
yes, history. Country is in
Hey.
complete. What are you doing sitting like this?
Asian squat, man. Well,
Wow.
this is how you rest. You like. Just getting
I
some
was
heat
just
on.
gonna say this is a Russian squat, because
Russian
that's
squat?
what we did.
Asian squat.
Russian squat.
Everything's
Okay.
Chinese.
Okay, history lesson. Imagine Russia, country collapsed, Soviet Union collapsed, mid-90s. Me as a teenager, well, in that time frame, everything's closed. On my island specifically, no electricity, like
Oh,
several
you
times
live
a
on
day.
an island?
Yes, near Japan actually. I'm from near Japan.
Oh.
So
okay.
technically, I'm Asian.
Ah.
Yes. And actually, in our part of Russia, people speak also differently than, let's say, Moscow, just pronunciation.
Oh.
Yeah, very nuances. And we had lots of Koreans on our island as
Right.
well.
Oh.
So I grew up on Asian food. It's like I
Oh.
like spicy. Basically, yeah, I'm Asian.
Oh, you like spicy? Okay. Oh, have you tried a spicy sauce after a hot sauce? Like a new hot sauce. It's
Cool.
really spicy.
Yeah. But yeah, so what we did, the typical thing you would see in Russian movies from that era is Adidas clothing, like sporty Adidas clothing. We call them gopniki in Russian. Usually shaven head, and you would see like on the porch or somewhere, just kind of sitting, maybe doing sunflower seeds and just like, you know, that was a thing. You just, because there's nothing else to do at home.
Yeah.
You don't have much electricity going on. Where's that bottle of vodka? Let's do the squat. And, well, not that I did those. But it's just funny. It's almost like a definitely cultural reference from that time period. I'm not sure how it is in Russia now, because I haven't been there in a long time. You train your, your muscle. Ideally, you practice it so you can sit on a line.
What do you mean a line?
No, like a rope. So you can balance yourself on the rope,
Oh.
squatting like a little bird. No.
Does your cable connect? Same?
I think it's a universal connector actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're using yours.
And we're trying this. Okay.
Boost the fire. Turbo, boost the fire.
Now here's my method.
Let's go shoot towards me. Towards the camera and everything's like
Yeah, that's very cool.
Okay. That is really cool. G'day guys, so this is going to be a little special I'm coloring my mic, that gets a little mumbly. G'day guys, this is going to be a little special episode video about an issue that right now is really hot in Australia. As in North America, I guess I am... Oh yeah, so you step inside too. How do you get onto this? This is way too tall. You need a stool here too.
Jump! Not right. No. Hey, here. Magically with one hand, you just go up.
What? In style. Yeah, let me
There you
try.
go.
Magically with one hand.
Oh yeah, because I did trip once. See? Yeah, it did happen to me once. I'm like almost facing the rocks. I'm like, oh, okay. I need to train my hands.
Okay.
No, but after a while, it becomes like aerobics. It's like, whoops.
How to get into a Ram truck 101.
And this is 6-inch lift with 35 tires. I used to be on 37 tires, so made process a little bit even harder. Go ahead.
Let's not rip any cans here. Oh, there's a handle. I mean, that's easy.
Yeah, you actually did a good job.
Well, that's because there's a handle.
Because many people just struggle. They look at it initially and they're like, how do I deal with this? Yeah, so that's exactly what
You're ripping the cans here.
I'm just like,
yeah.
it's like easy. But once you get used to it, I guess.
A lot of passengers, though, when I find they want to like come in this way, and then like it's really like just like weird seeing them.
I've seen people try to do backwards.
Oh.
Kind of like, I can stretch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something like this.
Well, like,
Yeah.
I guess passengers is like, because there's no like steering wheel blocking them, so they want to like go in like this, you know, like grabbing like whatever, if there's no handle like that, they were like, you know, like coming in like this, and then
my mother almost fell out twice because they forget the height, right? You give them a drive, and then she's like, and her leg just disappears into the air, and she's like, oh shit, oh hold on, like, I forgot. Yeah, a few funny moments like that.
that took out where the spare tire and factory sub tank was, and then take this whole chunk. So I forgot a data. 180. Labels will be just, you know, stock and stuff. And
you know what? I'm actually gonna go to your shop probably. I do want that printout. So, and
the
because it's reflective, yeah, it's gonna look cool. So
the only logo that will shine. I don't think I was recording.
I'm still smiling.
It's time. Because yeah, I bought these, you guys, to the trail, and
I'm here for you.
Alright guys, it's been a fun couple of days. Hope you had a good time watching this video too. Till then, see you next time.
I'll see you on your next adventures.